Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. In this series, we have been discussing about the 7 stages of spiritual purification and how that comes about. This is based upon Rathavinita Sutta, and the first part of the sutta deals with an enlightened saint, an enlightened person, an Arahat, who is a perfect one, who has overcome all the limitations of the worldly existence, and who is delivered from the wheel of karma and rebirth, free from karma and rebirth, and who enjoys the ultimate bliss and freedom, vimukti rasa, who enjoys the freedom, deliverance and peace and bliss of the Nibbanic stage. Now, before we go into this in a greater detail, because one has to understand, when one has the spiritual goal, you see, of Nibbana, that is to attain enlightenment, then it is good to know how an enlightened saint, an enlightened being, how he behaves in his normal day-to-day life, how he interacts with the world, interacts with people, and he is one whose consciousness is totally transformed. He is like the milk becoming ghee. So that consciousness is very, very different indeed. It is freed from all the bandhanas, all the bondages of worldly existence, and absolutely pure and noble consciousness. So with that, he has endowed with that kind of pure and very it's a transcendental, perfect consciousness to live in a world of dirt and defilement, world of imperfection, world of involvement of all kinds, world of conflict. How does he behave? How does he go about, and how does he improve the quality of the world? An Arahat in the Buddhist context is not one who is trying to escape from the responsibilities of the world. Having been born in this world, there are certain responsibilities. For the householder is the householder's responsibility, the family, the society, and the world. Similarly, for the enlightened being, he has a much, much greater responsibility of maintaining peace and happiness in the world by bringing about, by stimulating the minds of the people with those spiritual qualities that bring about moral purity, purity of mind, purity of understanding, born of moral purity and purity of mind, etc. So there are 7 stages of purification or purity that the saints, having attained those, you see, themselves, the Arahats having attained themselves, they also promote them in a very, very practical and realistic way by becoming an exemplar of those sublime spiritual qualities. So a Buddhist saint, a liberated Arahat, is not one who runs away from the world, far from it. He is very much in it, yet above it. He is in the world, yet he is above the world. The world does not touch him in any manner. Puthassa loka dhammehi chittang yassa nakampati. Asokang virajang khemang etang mangalamuttamang. So in the Mangala Sutta, Bhagavan Buddha has very clearly spelt out the role of an Arahat in the world. By having attained the transcendental purity and perfection, the transcendental deliverance and freedom of mind, and the bliss and peace that arises because of that. Having gained all that, he is now fully engaged in bringing about that peace and bliss in the minds of all those who follows him. Now this picture of an enlightened person is very, very real. You can see that if you go to a country like Burma or Siam or Thailand and all these Buddhist countries, particularly the Theravada Buddhism, where they have retained and they have preserved the original teachings of the Buddha in their pristine purity. Whereas there are other countries where you have other schools of Buddhism, other traditions. They have mixed the teaching up so much that there is very little really you can identify with the original teaching. So much so that they get very much mixed up with worldly things, and religion also tends to become, quite mixed up with world. These countries can be very rich. In fact, they are rich. Japan, for instance, and all that. And they are very militarily powerful like China. But then they have lost much of the original glory of the teaching of the Master, as preserved in Pali Tipitaka. You see. So now, coming to the very point, the saints, the Arahats, are to be found even today in these countries like Burma and all that. So their lives reflect the nature of Nibbana itself. What is Nibbana? Nibbana is deliverance from worldly existence. And there are three distinct stages, or you can identify the three different levels at which this Nibbanic experience, the deliverance from the bondages of worldly existence. Now, for instance, the first level of Nibbana is enjoyed by the enlightened person, not fully enlightened, but who has entered into the path of enlightenment, and his mind has become totally transformed as a result. And such a person is known as Sotapanna, one who has entered the stream of Nibbana, the stream that directly leaves it, that takes him, irreversibly takes him to the ultimate state of perfection and purity of Nibbana. So the Sotapanna is liberated, delivered once and for all from all the subhuman planes of existence. There are 4 such subhuman planes of existence. Now a Sotapanna can never be reborn in the 4 apaya, the states of woeful planes of existence, like the animal plane, the ghosts or the evil spirit and so on, or the diabolical being, the titanic beings of asuras and all that. Or, for instance, the Sotapanna can never be born in the Nirayas, in the hellish worlds and so on. So now, he is totally delivered from all these 4 stages of subhuman and painful states of existence. He can be born in the human plane You see the Sugati, the happy planes, human and the divine planes, and the higher sublime planes of the Brahma gods and so on. But then, as a human being, he can never be born in any state of suffering. He can never be born in the house of a person who upholds false views, false ideas, or false religious doctrines and beliefs. You say, no, you can never be born in such a family. Or very poor, or very, in a very miserable state of existence. No. He will be born invariably in a society where people believe in the path of enlightenment and they practice very minimum Panchashila. That is the very minimum level of moral purification they achieve as a householder. Now imagine a householder or in the family of a householder where they never kill any living creature, not even a small insect or like a fly or a mosquito or anything, no. They never harm or destroy life in any form. They're totally inoffensive, totally non-violent, in the negative sense of this virtue, but in the positive sense, they are extremely lovable, loving people, very friendly people, and very compassionate and so on. Now, I have personally had experience. When I first went to Sri Lanka in 1949, the first thing I saw struck me very profoundly. I saw the people smiling all the time and very cheerful, very friendly. They are not unfriendly, they are not hostile, they don't suspect anything of your motive or this, that, nothing. And very positive minded. So that struck me that here when a person really follows the Panchashila, the first Sila itself, of not killing, not destroying, but promoting the well-being of life and being very friendly and cheerful. A very cheerful attitude of life is a very wonderful thing. And they acquire that cheerful attitude of life by being non-violent and inoffensive and metta bhavana, universal love towards everybody. They don't have any sense of an enemy at all. They don't accept that so-and-so is my enemy or that such and such caste, they are hina, low, or they are enemies, they are, and all that sort of thing. No. So this, by following just one sila, their whole life, the attitude of life changes. Then I also saw, however poor, these people love to give dana. I used to go for Pindapata, that is alms round. I was staying in a mountainous place, in a place called Nurelia, and it's all tea estates and all that huge. And they are very poor people, they are all garden coolies and all that sort of thing. I practiced complete seclusion, away from the world, away from everything. It's a jungle country there. So I used to go for Pindapata. My goodness, these poor people, they will come and, very humbly and very lovingly invite me and take me there and give me whatever they are able to give. And with so much love and such joy. And they were very poor people. I was struck by that. Then I also saw the relationship between men and women there. They are very respectful to each other. I found, they have built up a society where men don't look down upon women, women do not look down upon men, and they don't want to bully each other and all that. No. A sense of respect and very good relationship. And these things I saw and I was very struck in the very first year of my stay there. And then their speech, very sweet, and they don't find fault easily. They try to see the good things whenever they can. And like this, when I saw all these changes in the human being, I was really convinced that a wonderful civilization and a wonderful culture can be built up just by sticking to, Panchashila. And then when I went to Burma, there it was even more pronounced. And very wonderful, and some very great saints I came across. So I had the very great, good fortune of meeting them and worship them, fall at their feet and get their blessings. And it was wonderful experience, I must tell. So the saintly people, the Arahats and others, now Sotapanna, by his example, that he is absolutely incapable of breaking the Panchashila. You can never make a Sotapanna break any of the Panchashila rules. And he is controlled with his eyes. He will not let his eyes roam about and see all kinds of objects which will defile the mind. No. And so he has a lot of restraint over the senses. He has restraint over his habit of eating and this and that, food. And so, such a person born in a family, that family also becomes very wonderful. So, though a Sotapanna normally, you see, is born in the Devaloka, but there are instances where Sotapannas can be born in human plane. So, but their lives are so very different, and thereafter, you see, quickly they become Arahats. Not very far away from our place here, for instance, in the Bangladesh Chittagong hill area. See, there they have got this Chakma, a very well-known Bhante, a Chakma saint. Wonderful indeed. He lives in a society where there is so much of conflict and fight and quarrel and this and so much of perverted way of living. You see, in that society, just one saint living there, he is so much respected not only by the Buddhists, but by these Bangladeshi Muslims also. They come there for his blessings and all that. So, a saint, Arahat, since he has acquired all these qualities of Nibbana, now what are those qualities? Last time I mentioned, for instance, the Sotapanna, the saint, is incapable of wanting things, wishing things, being greedy and ichha, wanting this, wanting that, too many things. No. He is totally free from that. And why? Because his mind is completely freed from lobha, dosa, moha. From the three roots of evil: greed, hatred, delusion. He is just totally free from all that. So being freed from the root causes of evil, you see, he has expunged the mind of all these evil roots. Now once having done that, thereafter he has no ichha. He doesn't desire anything. The question of desiring this, desiring that, all the time having some desire, no. So, having become, you see, Nibbana being totally free from lova dosa. You see, Nibbana is a state of deliverance, like the Sotapanna. He is delivered from those four levels of miserable existence and the psychological state connected with those four states. Now, a Sotapanna cannot be violent. So his mind has become transformed, and because of that he can't commit some bad karma. And because he can't commit bad karma, he cannot be born in a plane of existence where evil exists. So he is freed from those karmas and those planes of existence where those karmas can bring results in the form of rebirth and so on. So this is the first level of Nibbanic, deliverance which you can see. In the second stage, you see the Anagami, who will never be born in the Kamaloka, which includes 11 states of existence, 11 planes of existence. Not only the four levels which have been already, is delivered from that. Now from human existence he is delivered. He can never be born as a human being. He can never be born as devas, Kamaloka devas. There are 6 planes of existence where these devas flourished. They enjoy very, very blissful state of existence, very happy state. They don't know what pain is really, what suffering is. They delight all the time. Their life is full of bliss and happiness, and very, very long life indeed. They don't suffer from any of those things which human beings suffer, for instance. But at the lower level of Devaloka, there are other beings also. So, being in the lower level, they are